Ready to relax? You people should leave her alone. What do you want with her? Not that it's any of your business, but we're very close. We're in love. I refuse to let anything bad happen to her, no matter how much trouble she's gotten herself into. Yeah, sure. Tell me another one. You debt collectors are low-life assholes. She's broke, okay? Now get out of my club before I get really pissed off and have you thrown into the street.
I suspect I would enjoy the attempt much more than you would.
The Crimson Fleet? Oh my, I'm sorry. I had no idea. I didn't mean anything by it, really. Sorry, well, I worry about her. Ayumi owes a lot of money around town. I'm trying to help her out, but, you know, I have a business to keep afloat. If you want to talk to her, you can find her in the members' lounge. You already have access, so you should know the way.
Hello. It's good to see you today. As long as it doesn't get me into serious trouble. Ask away. Whoa. Okay, that's crossing the line. I can't discuss company matters like this. I hope I can trust you. Is this really what we're doing? I'm glad you understand the position I'm in here. Okay, listen. You didn't hear this from me, but I know she's up to something with Benjamin Bayou. He was in her office a few weeks ago, and they had some kind of shouting match. It got really heated until Bayou stormed out the door. I don't know what it was about, but I happen to know Miss Komiko keeps audio recordings of all her meetings in her safe. And before you ask, yes, I'll unlock it for you. Just don't tell anyone I helped, okay? I've only been working here for a few years now, and she's been my boss the entire time. Well, the big boss is our CEO, Mr. Harada. But I've actually never met him. He lives somewhere in New Atlantis, I think. She's my boss. She's fine, I guess. Look, like I said, I don't want to get into serious trouble. She might be a bit tough on all of us, but being responsible for Neon's power grid is a very stressful position. Sometimes that stress trickles down. Because I'm sick and tired of the corruption that's running through this city. People around here spend half their lives terrified about being backstabbed, and spend the rest of it planning on how they're going to screw over someone else. Something rotten is going on in this company, and one day, I hope to find out what it is.
Yeah. What do you want? Before you continue, let me save you some time. If you're having a problem with your POW or complain about your rates, you need to contact our customer service department. Anything else? You must be zoned out of your mind, because there's no way anyone sober would say something like that. How the hell did you find that? It was Estelle Vincent, wasn't it? That bitch. I knew I should have kept that somewhere else. Here, take this pass. It should get you through the storage room entry to the facility. I'm warning you though. Once you're inside, you're trespassing in a high-security zone. That means they shoot on sight. Good luck. You're going to need it. I suppose if I don't explain, a copy of that recording you found might end up on the next SSNN report. Okay, fair enough. A few years back, the previous CEO of Generdyne went missing. As the COO, I was next in line for the job. Instead, Bayou muscled his way into the company and gave me an ultimatum. Either back up his bullshit Mr. Harada identity, or I'm gone. I had no choice. But I decided right then and there, I was going to do whatever I could to take what was rightfully mine. If that meant seducing Bayu to tip him off balance, then so be it. Luckily for me, Micah's been incredibly understanding about the whole thing. What do you think happened? Bayu started sticking his nose into Jennerdine's business, all but outright demanding a cut of the profits. In response, the CEO made a huge mistake by threatening to take his grievances to the FC. His shuttle never arrived. Need I say more? No, we're polar opposites, but we share a unique bond. Micah is the only person in this godforsaken city that's kept me from going completely under. She doesn't want money, doesn't use me for influence or as a stepping stone to get ahead. She loves me for being me, and I love her for being the same. And when this stupid bullshit is over, and Bayu is 10 fathoms deep under Neon, we'll be there for each other. Forever. If you had to work with Grayson Bayu, you'd understand. The man is still a totally incompetent fool, and he's running our company into the ground. The worst part of it is that he's Administrator Bayu's brother, so I can't fire him. I can't reassign him. I can't even yell at him. It's like having a cut on your body, and you're helplessly watching yourself bleed to death. Except in our case, we're hemorrhaging money. What is this? A job interview? I'm the COO of the company, second to the top, right under our esteemed CEO, Mr. Harada, also known as Benjamin Bayu. So when you ask me what I do for Jennerdyne, the answer is nothing. The Bayus run the show, and I tread water. The salary helps, of course, but at the end of the day, I'm just a joke. Sitting in an office to make things look legitimate. Keeps them off the Freestar Collective's radar. They might actually step in if they discover that the same person controlling the city's regulations and bylaws benefits financially from them. If you haven't figured it out by now, Benjamin has a stranglehold on the city. You can't take a piss without him charging you after flush. Try and get in his way, and then he uses Neon security to beat you senseless, or the Sioga Syndicate to make you disappear.
Hello, welcome to Jennerdyne. Can I help you with something in particular? Well, our conduction grid technology, as well as all of the other experimentation being performed here, is proprietary. I'm sure many of our competitors would relish the opportunity to get through these doors behind me. I'm sure you understand. This is Jennerdyne's power facility. We're the only utility authorized to provide power for Neon. All of the electricity collected by our conduction grid is sent here, processed, stored, and then parceled out based on the city's needs. I'm so sorry, but Mr. Bayu isn't taking appointments at this time. Can I assist you with anything else today? I'm sorry to hear that you're having trouble with your service. If you wouldn't mind using one of our customer service terminals to report the issue, I'm sure we can get it solved. Was there anything else? Oh, certainly. Have a wonderful day. Unfortunately, only Jennerdyne employees are allowed beyond the reception area. Any unauthorized individuals will be subject to the use of deadly force by our security team. I apologize if that sounds ominous, but they require I state that to anyone that requests entry. It's policy. I'm sure you understand. Chief Technician Grayson Bayu is in charge of this power facility. If you have any questions about our corporate structure, you'll have to speak to the current office manager in the trade tower. Apart from the fact that he's Administrator Benjamin Bayu's brother, all I am authorized to tell you is that he's our chief technician. Even if there was, why would I risk my job telling you? Oh, you're just annoying enough that this might work. I wish I could, but if anybody found out I'd told you... Is this really what we're doing? According to the techs working closest to Brayson, he's in over his head. In fact, they suspect he doesn't know a thing about electrical engineering. Now, we all know how he got the job. I mean, his big brother, Benjamin, pretty much runs the entire city. What I don't understand is why he put someone with no experience in charge. It's almost as if he's running the company into the ground. To be honest, I feel bad for Brayson. He's actually a really nice guy. I hate to see bad things happening to him.
Oh, it's you. I was wondering how long it would take you to get down here. If you want the encryption cipher, you're welcome to it. I just don't want anyone getting hurt. When you accessed the computer in the power core, it sent a notification to me here. I knew you were coming, I just didn't know when. No catch. I'm not trying to trick you. You want the cipher? It's yours. At this point, I'd do anything to get back at my brother. He deserves everything he's got coming to him. You're kidding, right? My brother is Benjamin Bayou, the one and only. He's the administrator of Neon, and the reason I'm so damn miserable. Oh, don't patronize me. I know I'm no prize winner myself, but at least I don't spend my days trying to screw everyone over. You know, I've spent my entire life living in Ben's shadow. Everything always works out for him, while I've been bouncing from one job to the next, barely keeping afloat. And all the while, he laughs at me behind my back. Thinks it's hilarious to make fun of his stupid brother. Like I wouldn't eventually find out.
You should consider distancing yourself from your brother. Perhaps somewhere off-world.
One advantage to being perceived as stupid is that no one takes you seriously. When I walk into a party, I'm instantly the resident social pariah. But my eyes and ears are wide open. I can't tell you the number of times I've overheard that my brother has spread amusing anecdotes about his stupid brother. Yeah, that would be nice.
If you are uncertain about your ability to best him in single combat, it is a reasonable alternative to consider.
You know what? I am sick to death of being pushed around. It's my turn to take control for once. The passcode for my terminal is GEN-41A18. That should give you access to the cipher and whatever else you need. I'm getting out of here while I still can. After you're done, I suggest you do the same. On a scale of 1 to 10, 1 being the worst, I'm at about, I don't know, a -8. I don't have the background for this electrical engineering stuff. Chief technician? It's ridiculous. Ben stuck me down here expecting me to work miracles. He didn't stop for even a second to think of the repercussions. That's so typical. All I need is one breakthrough, one, and I could shove this job right in his face. Damn, that would feel good. Holy crap. You might be right. I mean, it would take some time, but I bet I could figure it out. Huh. All this time I've been trying to develop something new, and it's been staring me in the face for years. Oh man, that is so like me. Thank you for giving me that kick in the ass I needed to get going. Because he's a two-faced son of a bitch, that's why. It's not like I should be surprised. When we were younger, we never got along very well. I mean, he's 11 years older than I am. We had 2 different mothers. Might as well have been from 2 separate families. Well, there's a reason for that. I never knew my actual mother. She was my father's mistress, and I was told she vanished from Neon when I was only 2 years old. Ben's mother, She didn't give a crap about me. Wouldn't even let me call her Mom. I just had to call her Liliana. Can you imagine? And then there's Dad. So buried in the day-to-day operations of Neon, he didn't have time to pay attention to his bastard son. Yeah, I've tried, but I always hit a dead end. It's as though she was here one day and suddenly vanished the next. And then her existence was erased from everyone's memory. I wouldn't be at all surprised if my father had her killed to avoid public embarrassment. That's the kind of man he was. Oh, I'm not going to pretend I had it more difficult than the poorer folks in Neon, but emotionally, it tore me to pieces. Look, I appreciate what you're trying to do, and it's nice to get this off my chest, but talking about it isn't going to change a thing. That's why I gave you the encryption cipher. Anything I can do to stick it to Ben, that's the real therapy. As usual, you can thank my dear brother for that. At first, he made me deputy administrator. That went well, until I wouldn't cooperate with Owen Dexler and all of his thugs at Neon Security. Then, he had me work with Valentina over at Xenofresh, helping with Aurora distribution. Until she pinned a credit-skimming scam on me. And now, here I am, chief technician at Generdyne, when I don't even know the first thing about electrical engineering.
Well, hello. Didn't expect to see you here. Yeah? Your mother found a deal. One hell of a deal. An all-inclusive vacation package to Neon.
It's a retirement present.
And, well, everyone's heard about the Astro Lounge. Absolutely not.
Well, probably not.
No, we are not.
Wait, what are you doing here?
Yeah, nothing good happens here. I've been here long enough to know that. Figures. Oh, dear Lord. So, let's pretend this never happened, hmm?
Oh, I do think that would be best, sweetie.
Ah, there you are. What kept you? I believe we have a lot to discuss. It's obvious you're here to meet someone. Fortunately for them, they rented this VIP room under a false name. I assume that same someone provided you with that clever little virus you installed into Generdyne's systems. Oh, I will. With or without your help. You know, I should give credit where it's due. That virus is quite impressive. It will cost me tens of thousands of credits to remove. That's the last time I'll ever take the Crimson Fleet's capabilities for granted. Because, like the majority of revenue-generating businesses in the city, I have a vested interest in Generdyne's profits. But more importantly than simply losing money, I don't like anything in my city being interfered with without my approval. Probably. But do you want to know why that's not going to happen? It's because I don't negotiate with pirates. They don't understand commitments or contracts. How to get the deal done with finesse. No. For your kind, it's only brute force and violence. Shoot first, take whatever you want, and ask questions later. That's not how I do business. It may seem that way, but for every rival I've had thrown into the ocean, I've made 2 times as many legitimate deals. Look, I'm not here to debate. I'm here to make an offer. All you have to do is tell me who's profiting from the virus you've uploaded. In return, I'll let you leave the city alive.
That is an offer? Your negotiating skills are impressive indeed.
You don't have to worry about that in the least. You point me to our little mole, and I'll do the rest. You don't even have to get your hands dirty. Really? That's the story you're going with. Very well. There's a body that Neon Security is going to be discovering very soon. One with concrete evidence that links you to the murder. I'd say you have about 1 hour to leave this place before you have a price on your head.
I almost admire your commitment to corruption. Almost.
So, I assume this concludes our little arrangement, and you'll be leaving our fair city. Oh, when you get back to the key, be certain to give Neva and Delgado my warmest regards.
Glad you're back. Sorry about the whole Benjamin Bayou thing at the Astral Lounge, but I didn't have much of a choice. Can you believe the nerve of that smug son of a bitch? The man is priceless. Well, I was hoping we'd celebrate your return with some drinks and a pile of Aurora. I was about to start partying early when Boone Morgan tipped me off that Bayou was on his way down with some Neon Security goons. I'm pretty sure I missed him by less than a minute. Left a ton of good stuff behind, damn it. So I've heard. Throwing yourself under the bus like that. Ouch. You are one crazy son of a bitch. That might help you sleep at night, but doesn't do me a hell of a lot of good. Since Bayou flagged the virus, I can't risk accessing the system now. All that work I did trying to crack Generdyne is gone. Now I'm in a bit of a bind. The prep work for this job put me in deep for a bunch of cash, and I have no way to pay it all back. Well, a business partner of mine named Nix was the author of the virus. Don't know if you know him or not. Then there's the folks I paid to keep an eye on Ayumi Komiko, a few of the guards at Generdyne. Like I said, it was a huge job. Honestly, I shouldn't be revealing my sources because that puts you on their radar as well. But hey, you asked. That's pretty cool of you to offer, but I know what he's gonna say.
Sorry, Estelle. This was your scheme. You're on your own.
Believe me, he's not gonna be much help. Look, I was hoping you'd pick up on what I was trying to ask. What the hell with it? I'll just ask. Can you cut me in for a little bit of cash you're making on this job? I mean, I did get you inside and practically hand you the data on the grid.
Some small amount of compensation seems reasonable, given the circumstances.
I appreciate that. I really do. Having each other's back is what makes the fleet stronger, you know? How much are you willing to part with? Wow, that's way more than I expected. I had no idea you'd be so generous.
Yes, apparently we have lost our minds. To your benefit.
All right, I guess we're done here. Tell Delgado if he ever needs me for anything else. I've still got his back. And hey, you won't be hearing Rook from me anymore. As far as I'm concerned, you're one of us now. Lifeblood of the fleet. If anyone tries to tell you otherwise, you send them to talk to me. Completely ruined? Nah. I was hoping it would stay on Generdyne's mainframe for the long term, but hey, at least it's already fed me a huge amount of data. Nix really knows what he's doing, though he charged me about 6 months' worth of earnings. With any luck, I'll be able to recoup my costs in no time. I hear things are heating up back at the Key, so I might fire up my bird and head over to check things out. Rumor has it that Delgado has some solid info on the Crix's legacy story he's been hawking for the last few years. If there's even a chance that it's true, I want to be there when Shinya Voss starts splitting the loot, if you catch my meaning. Now, how did I know you were going to ask me that? Honestly, doesn't matter if I believe that Crix's legacy exists or not. What's important is that I believe in Delgado. If the man thinks that chasing shadows is going to make us rich, then who the hell am I to judge, right? I mean, I'm not gonna jump off a cliff for him or anything, but hey, he needs an extra ship at his side. He's got it.
All hell's breaking loose, Rook. Delgado needs you in the repair bay with Jazz as soon as possible. Hooray! You got the conduction gizmo. You did exactly what we asked you to do. Good work, pat on the head. Are you ignoring me or something? I just said there's an emergency. Oh, that's hilarious. You're a real comedian, you know that? Now get your ass to the repair bay. Go!
I wanted to thank you for giving me the chance to work with you. I know we met under, unusual circumstances. You seem to be acclimating well to Constellation. Are you enjoying working with them? I think none of us were expecting what we have found. Well, perhaps Mateo. You have certainly become a vital part of the organization. That is a credit to your abilities. If I may, from what you have seen, do you think I fit in well with the rest of Constellation? No, I do not. But I find it hard to quantify. Many of the other members are polite, but distant. I worry that my background and my actions concern them. I have not shared much, but everyone knows I worked with smugglers for years. I am no stranger to violence and death. I know. For those that have not lived it, it can be difficult to imagine or accept. Others here have seen conflict, but for more noble causes. Vladimir is the only one here who can begin to understand. He was the one who pressed the group to include me. I lack his charm. He puts others at ease. I fear my presence does the opposite. Jokes do not come naturally to me, not the way they do to others. If I try, it only makes things awkward. No, but it seems to make things much, much easier. I envy that. I know this seems trivial, perhaps childish. I have just always relied only on myself. I have never been surrounded by people like this. By a group I wish to be a part of. Does that make sense? Thank you. That is reassuring. Discussing these things is challenging for me. I hope now you can better understand why I wanted to keep the circumstances of our meeting quiet. I wanted to thank you for not saying anything to Vladimir. I know that you said you wouldn't, but it is still a relief. I would like my contributions to Constellation to amount to more than violence. Indeed it was. And now I hope you can see why. Thank you for talking this over with me. It is good to know that at least one member of Constellation understands me.
You want to quit standing there and hand over the conduction grid data?
Nothing you need to worry about.
Stay in your own space lane and let Jazz do her damn job. Now, do you have what we sent you to Neon for, or not?
Ah, perfect. I'll take that.
Dependable as always. Unlike some people we know.
Oh, that's real funny.
All right, listen up because I don't want to repeat this twice. We've gotten word that UC Systef is massing somewhere nearby for an attack on the key. While we prepare for their arrival, I want you to head straight for Bannock 4 and bring Crix's legacy home. I have a very reliable source at Mast. They were so concerned that the threat was real, they actually jumped the information out to us right away. Oh my god. Haven't you been paying attention? The only reason half the fleet's captains haven't scattered across the settled systems is because they're waiting for their part of the score. No money means no protection. No protection means we are done when Systef arrives. Simple enough for you? Lay it out, Jazz.
All right, first things first. I'm gonna upload this data you snagged from Generdyne into the Key's databanks. All you need to do is build and then install a conduction grid module onto your ship. Oh, and if you haven't already, you'll need the CommSpike module installed as well.
Oh, is that all? And here I thought this was going to be a challenge.
Once your ship is ready, jump out to Bannock 4, board the Legacy, and bring us the cash. Everything you'll need for ship repair and construction is down in Jazz's section of the Key. If you have any questions about the modules, she'll have all the answers. You better pray that isn't the case, because that means we are done. As in, no more Crimson Fleet. Nothing around here is simple.
Dell's right. You have to follow these steps carefully, or don't bother coming back. After you board the Legacy, be on the lookout for 2 transfer modules. They're special keys that allow access to the ship's vault. Once you locate the vault's control center, hook up the data core I'm gonna give you, and download everything they've got.
And before you get any bright ideas, like running off with the money, that currency is going to be heavily encrypted. Only a genius like Shinya will be able to crack that encryption, so bring it back here right away. Because those Galbank ships were carrying so much money, they didn't even trust their own crew. That would be a first. I have yet to see encrypted currency that Shinya could not manipulate within hours. I mean, the guy plugs his body directly into his mainframe. He eats, breathes, and shits numbers all day. No, I'm not worried about him. Which is exactly why you need to get there first, and we can't let it fall into their hands. Look, I'm gonna make this real simple for you. If that money ends up anywhere but the Key, I will hunt you down and pry it out of your dead hands myself. Now get moving. The Crimson Fleet isn't really a fleet. It's an ideal. A principle that Crix sought to set up so that pirates didn't infight over scraps. Over time, that notion has been lost. Captains have been turning their backs on the fleet, doing jobs on the side, killing each other. Bringing Crix's legacy back to the fleet would be like validating everything Jasper Crix believed in. And I'm certain it would unify us once again. Of course, it wouldn't exactly hurt to have all that extra money at our disposal. But I think you catch my meaning. You've met some of them already. Mathis Castillo, Yevgeny Rokov, Juan Dayu, Estelle Vincent, and Adler Kemp. They might feel like independents to you, but each one of them has a stake in the Crimson Fleet, and each one of them wants a cut of the wealth. I am sending word out to every able-bodied captain that they are needed. We'll see how many answer the call. The toughest nut to crack is if UC Systef brings in the Vigilance. That Commander Ikande has himself a hell of a ship there. Advanced shield tech, bristling with weapons. I would love to see that thing burn. If we hope to stand a chance against it, we need those defensive batteries, and Crix's legacy.
I need to get those defensive batteries online, so make this fast. There are 3 defensive batteries, basically high-powered military space turrets, triangulated around the Key. They were part of the UC's original defenses for the station. Pretty effective, too. can put some serious hurt on enemy spacecraft. The good news is that the batteries have an incredibly wide field of coverage, so they can pick off ships trying to reach the key from any vector. The bad news is that they're 100-year-old tech. They keep breaking down and are expensive as hell to keep operational. Well, you already know that the conduction grid does a pretty nifty trick. It absorbs extreme voltage and converts it to usable power on neon. The version for your ship can still absorb incoming electrical energy, like, say, the EM field surrounding Bannock 4, but it can't store the power. Instead, it just scatters the EM harmlessly away from the hull, insulating you from frying every circuit aboard. As a nice side effect, I'm betting the module will make your ship somewhat EM weapon resistant and boost its shield regen. Lucky you. The comm spike traces and decrypts coded signals. As long as you have the transponder ID, you can track pretty much anything. That file you lifted from the Galbank archives contained the Legacy's transponder code, which I'll program into your nav system. All you have to do is get within the vicinity of Bannock 4, and the comm spike will automatically point you to the target. Cute toy, huh? Not a problem. Conduction grid data is all set up in the system, so it should be an easy install. Don't worry, we should be able to piece it back together.
If you see Clay, don't hesitate to put a bullet in his brain. Or worse. Only that I won't be shedding any tears should he meet an unsightly end. The man only cares about himself. To think I spent all those years sticking my neck out for him and he never learned a damn thing. Madeleine LaRue, the only woman I ever loved. She was life herself. Funny, impulsive, quick-witted, and even quicker with a gun. I met her back when we were only kids, I did. Doing small jobs just to get by. Clay and I both had a thing for her. I never should have let her make the first move. Who knows if Maddie and I would have made it. But I bet she'd still be alive. And running with the fleet. If Maddie wasn't with Clay, she would have stuck with the fleet. Probably would have been a captain by now. She was that good. Instead, Clay got him wrapped up with Ecliptic and sealed her fate the moment he started running his damn mouth again. Clay was my best friend. As long as the two of them seemed happy, I was ready to respect that and keep my feelings to myself. Of course, I always knew it wouldn't last, and that I'd have my chance sooner or later, which is why I planned on holding on to that ring to begin with. Yep. All three of us joined up together. Got recruited when we ran into some fleet who were after the same target. The moment we set foot inside the key, we knew we were home. Only Clay had to go and screw things up with that damn ego of his. You're damn right she did. But I'm the fool that let it happen. So, you got something for me? Oh, and I hope that bastard went straight to hell, where he belongs. Oh, here's your credit. I think it's time for a drink myself. Thanks to you, I'll be spending the rest of these days at peace.
Tell me you've got those supplies from Gennady. I'm on the last of my medpacks here. Everything's accounted for, no damage. I'm impressed. I might have to make this a regular thing. At least it's one way to get guaranteed supplies. I only need to determine Gennady's limits. I'd hate to break him. And he'd love every minute of it, right? Well, I'll arrange your payment so you can get out of here. I appreciate the help.
There you are. I was wondering when you'd visit. Should give us a little time to catch up. Well, of course, what choice do I have? Thanks to my own stupidity, my second chance to return to the Crimson Fleet is long gone. And by the time I get out of prison, any hopes I had to return to that life will have fully disappeared. That's not how I expected to spend the next couple of decades, but it is what it is. Well, anyway, glad you popped by to say hello. Now, if you wouldn't mind letting an old man get his rest, I'd appreciate it. After getting set up on the Key, I traveled to a few settlements to find a base of operations. I was looking for a place that would allow me to pick up information about juicy shipments for the fleet to jump on. When I stopped at Gagarin, Sysdef was on the ground waiting for me instead of that contact I was expecting to meet. Your friend Toft really pulled the wool over my eyes. Oh yes, quite aggressively. The illegal team will very likely grind me into the dirt, and there isn't much I can do about it. The amusing thing is, I don't even think they care very much that the heist went down on their ship. That's a given risk for them. I think they're more embarrassed I was able to gain the position as captain of the Siren under false pretenses in the first place. So you're saying I should be happy that you took me out of the line of fire? I have to confess, I never thought of it that way. Last thing I intended to do with my life was go out in a blaze of glory on Neva or Delgado's behalf. But at the same time, my freedom's gone, so I'm not exactly popping the cap off the vodka bottle and celebrating either.
Oh, I'm so glad you're here. I swear, this is all just a big misunderstanding. Oh, well, I just figured we got along so well back there in Sidonia. You might remember everything that I did for you and return the favor. I know you were just doing your job, so I'm not going to hold that against you. I could really use the help. Me? Commit a crime? Oh, you have it all wrong. Do you have any idea how tough it is to earn your way in Sidonia? Either you spend all day in the mines getting your lungs filled with Martian dust, or wear your fingers to the bone working on machinery. All I was trying to do was earn a living. Display a little bit of entrepreneurial spirit. If trying to make a living is considered breaking the law, then lock me up and throw away the key. Well, yes. But that's only because they forced me into their ranks. You've met Neva. You know how she is. She, threatened to kill me if I didn't do what she said. Come on. You've got to put in a good word for me. So, that's how it is. All right, fine. I'll tell you this, though. The UC can't hold me forever. And when I get out, first thing I'm going to do is hunt you down. That drunken miner? No. Whatever you said to him must have sunk in because I haven't seen him since you left Sidonia. He's lucky. If he would have stumbled into this spear begging for credits again, I would have... well, use your imagination. Right at the broken spear in front of everyone. Any reputation I may have had there is long gone thanks to that little stunt. On top of that, they caught me right in the middle of a... deal I was closing with some long haulers. I guess I can kiss that money goodbye. Are you serious? You actually expect me to be grateful? I don't know Sysdef's endgame, but I'd wager that you've bitten off far more than you can chew. No matter what you throw at the fleet, Delgado will find a way out.